Landwirt.com is currently in Jugendorf in Salzburg, and we have discovered a do-it-yourself project here, namely the project of Rupert Kreisberger. Rupert, you submitted your do-it-yourself project to Landwirt.com, and maybe you would like to tell our viewers exactly what you built there.
Yes, this is actually a loading apartment for the hay harvest. I bought 5, partly at Landwirt.com, also seen and indeed bought. And I laid one out of the 5 and built one out of it.
Okay, make one big one out of 5. Why would you do something like that?
The problem in my agriculture is that I have to drive 3 kilometers in each large home. I have to make sure that I get rid of a lot of mass in a short time, but the harvest window is short.
Okay, so you wanted as much volume
as possible
to transport in one trip. Tell me, what technical things did you have to implement? Because you told me beforehand that you almost didn't have to buy anything new.
Yes, it was actually like that with this project. I made sure that I reused as much as possible things that I already had or that I had removed for the charging exercise. This is for axles, the axle assemblies partially installed, the hydraulic stuff, electrics. I reinstalled everything I removed from the forest. Of course, certain things were purchased. But the main reason behind it, or the idea, was to reuse as much as possible, not to throw away.
How long did you plan and build there?
From the first cutting of the first loading wagon to the first outing, 3 months and 4 days have passed.
What were your measurements that you absolutely wanted to adhere to, and what kind of magnitude are we talking about with your loading wagon?
It is just under 12 meters long, just under 4 meters high, and just under 2.5 meters wide. Now that means I am compliant with the road traffic regulations, so I don't need any special permit and I can move freely on public roads. The second volume we have is 280 cubic meters of water mass, and for the average pressure, there is a conversion formula of 227.
What are the technical features that you have implemented in the loading wagon? So what kind of technical highlights can you mention?
It was important to me that it is roughly aggregate, specifically with a swivel conveyor. This gently picks up the hay, and just a drawn pickup that when you come across an obstacle or too much material comes in, that the big up lifts away, so you don't push the aggregate. This is from the Gruber. It has been dismantled for the Gruber aggregates and reassembled, and the tailgates are also different.
Constructed. Okay, can you roughly estimate now what would something like this cost if one were to buy it?
Yes, bottom line, I can tell you the costs, where they have invested, where they have bought to. We are looking at between 16,000 and 17,000 euros. In Fox jargon, the calculation is based on 1,200 per cubic meter medium compression. The loading wagon has 127 cubic meters, so you can actually calculate where they actually want to buy that he builds. Costs.
Well, Rupert, thank you very much for presenting your loading wagon project to us. We're definitely not visiting you for the last time because we can already see more do-it-yourself projects on your farm. And dear viewers, if you also have a project on your farm or are currently working on something, then first look at Landwirt.com for used parts. And when the project is finished, feel free to submit it to us, and maybe you will be the next ones we visit.